I heard there was this podcast, yo, about something funny like wrestling and so. And you really care about wrestling, don't you? There are drop kicks and leases all over the board, and then something called the Wrestling Hold. It's a super duper fun podcast about wrestling. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. Well, Fro and Bill and maybe a guest or two is here to hold your hand and guide you through a podcast about wrestling. We have a lot of extreme fun, and that's without the gun, because I needed something to rhyme on with. That wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show. Well, sit your behinds gently down and listen to our podcast sound, and try to guess this week's pro question. You win a lot of cool things, and also help Bill with his bills. That's a super duper fun competition. That wrestling show. 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 That wrestling show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. Fro, have you yet recovered from Royal Rumble weekend?
No, I don't think I have recovered from Royal Rumble weekend, but it was a lot of fucking fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, we're not going to really do a lot of news this week, because there isn't that much news to discuss. I mean, there's a couple things, but we're going to mainly focus on NXT Takeover and the Royal Rumble. We'll give our thoughts and opinions on that, plus a little bit of news. And, Fro, I actually happen to have a surprise, not only for you, but for all of our listeners, because today, I will be reading a special book to all of you good boys and girls out there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Before we get into everything, though, I just want to mention something real quick, and this is something from my end. Yesterday, my family, we lost a very good friend of ours who used to work with my mom for quite a long time. Jean was her name, Jean Alberding, and she was such a sweet lady, one of the sweetest ladies I ever met. She knew me when I was growing up, knew my family, and was just an absolute wonderful lady, and she passed away yesterday. So this week's episode is dedicated to her, and I just want to say that I hope to see you again one day in that big school up there in the sky.
Aww.
Yeah.
My condolences to your family.
Thank you.
Aww.
But I'll tell you, if she knew about this, she'd tell us to keep going on, and by God, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep rolling on. We're gonna.
Yeah. Do we have any news this week, or can we go directly into the fun?
We have like 2 or 3. And that's really it. I think this is a record, Fro. This is a record.
2 or 3 news things.
Yes,
I can live
2 or 3 news stories. Okay. I think this is a record for the least amount of news we've ever had. Ever.
Good. Let's do it.
All right. So the first one, and this one came out of left field. I was so surprised by this, Fro. Jeremy Borash has left Impact Wrestling and has signed a contract with WWE.
I heard this. Okay. One, this is bad news.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't like this.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of Jeremy Borash. I think he's an awful commentator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like his way of commentating. Am I being a little too strict, or am I being nice here?
Mm-hmm. No, I thought you were going on the right path, to be honest. Especially after last week's my thoughts on that barbed wire madness match. Oh, that commentary was horrendous.
But it is nice to see that they are taking commentating so seriously as they are. That's a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like that they are trying to hire someone that has no fucking clue how to commentate.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremy Borash is like the least. I would rather. Who did I use for many pay-per-views? That was a wrestler.
Oh, the Pope.
The Pope. Yeah, I would rather have the Pope commentating than Jeremy Borash.
Well, now the thing is, we don't know what Jeremy Borash is going to do. We don't know if he's going to be a commentator. We don't know if he's going to be working behind the scenes. We don't know any of that.
I mean, if he's going to be behind the scenes and I don't have to hear his awful voice, that's nice.
I'm fine with that.
But yeah, that's super nice. But other than that, no.
Like, if he does a special on the WWE Network once every 9 months, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I would. But
it's a little ooh la la, you know.
So, with that signing, the only original from the beginning of Impact Wrestling that's left is Abyss. The only one left.
I'm trying to think of that and think of if I could come up with someone that is left other than Abyss. There isn't, is there?
I don't think there is. Congratulations are in order for the Dudley Boys, as they were announced this past Monday as the new inductees going into the WWE Hall of Fame, the class of 2018. That was pretty much expected.
Yeah, and I am going to be sourpuss again.
Okay.
I'm always sourpuss on this podcast, it seems. I'm not amazingly surprised by this pick, and it's a boring pick, to be completely honest with you. So now we have two boring picks. What I will say, I can't wait for their speech. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I really like Bobby. I really do like him. Divan I have absolutely no relationship with, but I always love Bobby, and there will be their expected speech will be fucking off the roof, but it's boring. It's a little like yeah, we need to put them in, but to be honest, they could wait another year. We don't need them in this year. I don't understand this year. There's other teams that I would put on before them.
Well, I mean, they got to pick a tag team every year to go in, and I guess this was the year. Just to give everyone a quick reminder, we are doing, we are talking about, when each person does get in. Fro and I will do an entire episode March 29th talking about the class of 2018, give our overall thoughts and everything else. So that is that's a tradition that I love to do, so I can't wait for that. But some of our Facebook friends commented on this announcement. Ruben Vasquez Jr. said that I've never been the biggest fan of them. To me, they're a bit overrated.
Yeah.
Ooh, how do you feel about... Now, are you on the same boat with Ruben?
Oh, yeah, no, they are totally overrated. But then again, I think Goldberg is overrated. Maybe this is the year...
The year of the overrated.
The overrated class of 2018. I don't know. But right now, I'm not staying up for the... There's no factor that would keep me awake in the night to look at their accession speeches yet.
All right. Joe Sago wrote...
It's a hard word to say, speeches.
Joe Sago wrote that I'm still waiting on Demolition. That's true. I think a lot of people are. Justin Drysdale has the best one. He said, "Really? You're putting them in before the greatest tag team in WWE history, Strike Force." Oh, yeah. I'll actually tell you who I think is going to be the one that inducts them. I think it's going to be Tommy Dreamer.
Maybe.
It's either going to be Tommy or it's going to be Paul. One of those two.
Yeah, I was thinking about Paul. Paul could do it.
Yeah.
He's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Should talk about New Japan real quick. Two new champions were crowned over the weekend. Minoru Suzuki defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi to win the IWGP Intercontinental title. And in a bit of an upset, Jay White defeated Kenny Omega to become the second ever IWGP United States champion. And then after that, I don't know if you saw the video or not, Fro, there was some dissension among the ranks of the Bullet Club to where Cody attacked Kenny, and Kenny had to be saved by Kota Ibushi, and they ended up reuniting. Last I have heard, Kenny Omega is still in the Bullet Club. He has not been kicked out, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but it's going to be very, very interesting.
Then again, Best Friends Forever are going to have a match against each other on SmackDown, so...
Yeah. And finally... and finally, and this is interesting. I saw this headline. I thought this was very interesting.
Sorry.
You were thinking about the Best Friends joke.
Yes, I was.
Current NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis. He is about to go on quite a rigorous tour as the world's heavyweight champion because over 60 days he plans on defending the title 20 times over a 60-day period. There's a video up that announces that he's going to do that, but this is very interesting. I'm looking forward to this. So, do you think... Because I know, the NWA isn't big, but as a story, do you think this is I think it's a good story. What do you think about this one?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's good to see that they're trying to rebuild their brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, and it's pretty nice to see that they are using the name for everything that's it has. That is super nice.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting storyline. See where it goes, and with YouTube, they're going to get a lot of views, so that should be interesting. All right, well, let's talk about the weekend, because my what a weekend of wrestling it was.
What? There was wrestling this weekend?
I know, right? There were...
Oh, what a great... NXT started it out with a bang, and at the end of NXT, and I was like, okay, this can't get any better.
Right!
And then I was like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then...
I was wrong.
Right! So, we're going to go through all the matches. We're going to give our thoughts, our ratings. And we also have ratings from the Melts, Dave Meltzer. And also...
I hope you also have the paper, how many wrong matches I did.
Oh, I do have that. And also from CBS Sports and ESPN with their ratings of the matches. So let's get right into it. And the opening match was the NXT Tag Team titles. The Authors of Pain challenging the champs Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, I couldn't be more stoked for the ending than this. I mean, this was one of the things I didn't. So
yeah.
So I remember saying that I would be fucking atrociously angry if the Authors of Pain won their title back, and thankfully they didn't.
There was part of me with this match where I liked the beginning, where the Authors of Pain just attacked Fish and O'Reilly. I liked the beginning. And then, it sort of got lost in the middle, but then they eventually told a story, a good story, where ACOM was just getting beat up. And then the ending, like you said, was really good. The Authors of Pain, went for the double power bomb, but in the process, O'Reilly was able to get out of it, and he pushed one member of the Authors of Pain into the other, which knocked Razor, I think it was Razor, out of the ring, and then O'Reilly got a schoolboy on ACOM to get the win and the victory to start that one off. I gave this a B-. Fro?
Hello?
Yes, you here?
I'm having some audio problems.
Wonderful. Well, I just gave the match a B-.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Wait.
boy. Alright, hold on a minute, everyone. So, Fro, what did you think about the opening match?
Oh, the opening match was terrific. I liked it had a good pace in the beginning. I agree with you. It lost kind of its pace in the middle there. Good ending. I would see a B plus
Oh, really? A B plus? Wow. Okay. We're in the same range, but we're a little bit different. I have it as a B minus. So.
Okay.
The Meltzer gave that match 3.5 stars. CBS Sports rated it a B or a C plus, and ESPN gave it 3.25 out of 5.
Oh. So
the next match was Cassius Ohno against Velveteen Dream.
Oh.
Okay, now first off, I loved what Velveteen Dream wore to this match. Oh, it was so cool.
And the whole thing with him going to pin him in 15 minutes? No.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, I mean. So fucking good.
So, yeah, in a promo before the match, Velveteen Dream said that he was going to knock Ohno out in less than 30 seconds.
And he kind of did.
Yeah, but he sort of did, but then Ohno got him right back.
Because he forgot to pin him.
Yeah. This match is a little bit difficult for me because it was sloppy at times. But sort of like with the first match, towards the end, it got good.
Yeah.
And I think if they had a little bit more time, they would have had a much better match, I think. Velveteen Dream got the win with a beautiful looking elbow drop, and I mean, it was beautiful. Like, he hit it from the corner post all the way onto Ohno to get the 3 count.
It's like I said when we were watching this. I was thinking to myself. No, I was talking about it the day after, actually, when I was watching the Royal Rumble. I said, think of that we not that long ago hated Patrick in Tough Enough.
Right.
And now he's one of my favorite things in NXT.
Well, I think the thing with him that we got to remember was he was passionate about the business. Like, I understood his point where he was like, if you're going to make it, you got to, learn the history. You got to know who everyone is, which I understand, but I could see your point as well. But he's young. He's in his early 20s, and he can...
He's so good now.
He can
now I love him.
He can only get better from here, Fro. He can...
I'm saying he's maybe one of my favorite things about NXT right now. He's the reason why I watch NXT.
I gave this match a C.
I gave this a C as well. A lot of cluster in the middle, a lot of bad spots, but I blame them kind of both. It wasn't really all Patrick's fault.
Right.
Cassius also was blame. He's a big guy, and it's kind of hard to get around that point.
Yeah. Dave Meltzer rated this match 2 3/4 stars. CBS Sports gave this match a B minus. A little surprising.
Ooh.
And ESPN gave this match 2.25 out of 5. So the next match was for the NXT Women's title. Shayna Baszler challenging the champion Ember Moon. And to me, Fro, this is where the show got better. I
mean, it definitely turned here. There was something like... It was almost in the ear. It felt like okay, now we have had 2 okay matches. Okay, let's fucking get them with a fantastic match. I'm going to say this. This was an amazing match.
If it wasn't for the next 2 matches that we're going to talk about, this match could have been the match of the night. It could have.
It's a contender.
It's a contender. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a contender.
So, the focus of this match is Shayna Baszler going after the arm of Ember Moon. And it is told so brilliantly. And Ember Moon, at one point, does hit her finishing move, the Eclipse. But when she hits it, she hurts her arm. And she's selling it. I mean, she sold that so well. So Baszler comes over, and she locks in the armbar. And it's like, okay, this is going to do it, you know? But Ember Moon found every which way in the book to try to get out of it. And this is where I thought the match got really good, because she's doing everything. And then finally, Moon just gets herself up. She puts her weight down on Baszler's body to get the 3 count and the victory. I thought that ending was so brilliant that it was one of those surprise endings you never saw coming, because I thought the best she could do was just reach the bottom rope and, hey, the match will continue. Loved the ending. Loved the ending.
Yeah, no, the ending of the match was fucking marvelous. And so good to see 2 powerful women doing their best to have a fantastic match. Definitely women's contender of the best match of the year so far.
Well, I'll tell you, after what happened after the match, I think we're going to begin the rematch at the next Takeover, because after the match, Shayna Baszler went and she put in her cross chokehold on Moon after the match. Yeah. So I think we're going to see that again probably come WrestleMania weekend. I gave this match
I'm thinking maybe they will do a 3-way at the pay-per-view. I'm not sure.
Ooh, okay. I gave this match a B.
I gave this a B+.
Wow. Meltzer gave this match 2 3/4 stars.
Yes.
CBS Sports gave it a B, and ESPN gave it a 3 out of 5. All right, so after that, the next match is Aleister Black against Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. And, man.
Oh, this match.
Oh, gosh.
This match is just out of this world fantastic.
Oh, man. I mean, it was so good. It was a good... You know what this was? This was just a good old-fashioned street fight where there really wasn't blood planned. I mean, they both did get cut during the match, but it wasn't intentional.
No, it was no blading.
Right.
That was nice to see.
It was just these two guys just fighting each other. Cole got cut during the match on his hand, and I think I know where I think I know where it happened. I might be wrong. I think it was when he went to set the table up. Like I said, I might be wrong on that.
But it was pretty hardcore. I think it was a hardcore, hard-hitting, hard-pounding match. That was not giving anything. It was really like it was not giving us anything lack of perfection.
Right.
I just love this match.
It was
a street match with so many fucking tables, and it was so it was.
There was a lot of plunder.
It was a fun match.
A lot of plunder. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly got involved, but then Sanity got involved to counter that, and then Aleister Black hits this amazing double knees onto Cole through the announcer's table, and it looked so good. And then the end of the match, they get back in the ring. Cole is about to hit Black with the chair, but Black kicks Adam Cole to next Sunday with the Black Mass to get the victory. This was a fun match. This match, I didn't really think about it till after, Fro. I wasn't sure how Aleister Black was going to do in this kind of a match. I am now convinced this man could be put in any match and he would be great in it. Yeah, I am, if I wasn't before, I am now 1,000% behind Aleister Black. This guy's the real deal. He's going to be big when he gets to the main roster. He's going to be big. I gave this match an A.
I gave this an A+.
Ooh, an A+. All right.
Yeah.
Meltzer rated this 4.25 stars. CBS Sports gave this a B+, and ESPN gave this a 4 out of 5. And that does it for the pay-per-view. No, I'm just kidding. There's one more match that we got to talk about. And oh my God, this match. What a match. It is Johnny Gargano challenging Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT title in an instant classic match.
Yeah.
This was the match of the weekend. By far. And I'm even going to go so far, Fro, as to say this. I know today's February the 1st, but this is my match of the year as of right now.
I said right now, I totally agree with you.
This match it's unbelievably incredible. There's so many spots. It would be too hard for Fro and I to describe the amazingness that this was. And I know that's a made-up word I just did, but it was so effing amazing. The crowd was into it. Mauro Ranallo, I'll say this, and we don't give commentators a lot of credit when we do, pay-per-view reviews. Mauro Ranallo was on the ball all night. But these last two matches in particular was some of, I would say, his best work since AJ and Cena from the Royal Rumble last year.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my God.
So nice. It was so nice to see.
Everything just came together in that match Saturday night. There were so many near falls. There was great technical wrestling. There was high-flying wrestling. You had, Vega get involved. And then Candice LeRae just couldn't take it anymore, and she went after her. There was so much great stuff about this match. And every time that Almas thought he had Gargano would find a way to kick out. And then, the end of the match, Almas hits a running double knee on the apron to Gargano, and Gargano is just about knocked out at this point. And then Almas hits the hammer or the armlock DDT to finally put Gargano away. This is an A+ match for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I want to say real quick, because I said, in this match, this is my match of the year right now, and I'm going to explain why. When we watched Wrestle Kingdom, you and I, that crazy day at the beginning of January, which I might never do again. Although I say that now, I'll probably do it next year. But anyway, the 4-way for the junior title was a really good match. Omega and Jericho was a really good match. But there's one thing about this match that I thought it did better than the two matches that I gave an A+ from the Tokyo Dome show.
And that was...
This match told a fantastic story from beginning to end. You could not have made a better match and told a better story than these two did. And it's going to be so hard for me to change my mind on a match of the year. I'm not saying that it's over, that this is the match of the year. I mean, we just finished January. But it's going to be hard pressed to have me change my mind and say there was a better match than this one. And I thought the storytelling was the big difference. That's what kept me into the match. That's what had me excited about the match. And that's something that I think is missing at times in wrestling, is storytelling. And believe me, there was great storytelling.
No, I could not fucking agree more. I mean, this was, from A to B, one of the best matches in wrestling I ever seen.
Yeah, that's what some of the people were saying.
I am not fucking joking here. This must be the best of NXT so far.
Mm-hmm. And then, because we got to add this part in, as if we couldn't end the show on that note, Tommaso Ciampa comes back and knocks Gargano out with his crutch from behind.
Yeah.
Oh, great storytelling.
Just good from A to B to C.
Yep.
I like fantastic ending. Fantastic.
It was. Okay, so we both gave it an A+. Dave Meltzer gave this match 5 stars.
Yep.
And it damn well deserved it. CBS Sports gave this match an A+. ESPN gave this 4 3/4 out of 5. So, all around, we all loved the main event, plain and simple. We all loved it. So, let's check out what the wonderful people in our Facebook group thought about this event. Everybody gave this show an A. And I'm going to agree with them.
Yeah, I am definitely not going to disagree. I gave this an A as well.
Alright, now this next one is very interesting. Your favorite match from Takeover.
Mm-hmm.
Most people agreed Gargano and Almas, and I'm going to put my vote in too for that. One person said the Baszler Ember Moon match, and one person thought the Aleister Black Adam Cole match was the best match of the show. I can respect, well, like you said, those last 3 could have been match of the night.
Like I gave both of them A+.
Mm-hmm.
They were both nice matches.
They were.
They were super nice matches.
And least favorite, and I'm actually surprised not a lot of people voted on this. Only 2 people voted, and Fro, you were one of them. It is the Authors of Pain against O'Reilly and Fish. I'm going to put my vote for Ono against Dream, only because it was a little bit sloppy. But other than that, it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
It really was. Alright, so you know what? We're going to take a break from reviewing for a moment. Because it's...
Is it time for... Oh.
What do you think it's time for?
Oh, is it time for trivia?
Yeah, let's do trivia.
Do you have a winner from last week?
do have a winner, and once again, it is Jason Richardson.
Oh.
Who got it correct, and that Stone Cold Steve Austin was the only one to win 3 Royal Rumble matches.
Yes.
So Jason's probably going to end up getting a lot of prizes from us.
But do you know what?
What?
I never have done a WCW pay-per-view.
Oh boy.
It's time to end that streak.
Yay!
Yay! And I'm going to do their absolutely last.
Oh, okay.
Greed.
All right.
From March 2001. Jacksonville Memorial Coliseum in Jacksonville, Florida. With I'm not sure what it is on the front here, but it looks a little like Scott Steiner underneath the sea.
Let me see.
I sent you a picture of it. It looks like Scott Steiner is drowning or something.
No. It just looks like he's just posing, and then they just put the Greed logo on it.
But it's so blue.
I know. You know, the whole Shape of Water thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, so this was March 18, 2001, at the end of...
The end of WCW.
Yep. And I want to know the winner of the first match to the people out there.
All right.
And that was Kiwi against Jason Jett.
All right.
Kiwi against Jason Jett. Who won? That is the single question to people out there.
Right.
Yep. Now, we begin with you.
All right.
The Filthy Animals, Rey Mysterio Jr. and Billy Kidman against Alex Skipper and Kid Romero.
All right.
And this was for the tag team match.
Yeah, this was the final match in the tournament to crown the first WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team titles.
Mm-hmm.
The prestigious...
Never ever contended again.
Actually it was defended on the last Nitro.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was the best match of the show, because I have seen the show, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I know. It was Skipper and Romero.
It was. Then we have Sean Stacek with Stacey Keebler against Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh my. Okay.
I wonder why they went bankrupt.
I believe Stasiak won that match?
He did.
Alright.
Then we have Team Canada, Lance Storm and Mike Awesome against Conan and Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris, okay. I gotta think back on this one. I want to say the Canadian team won.
Yep.
Alright.
Then we have a singles match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. And it was Chavo Guerrero Jr. against Shane Helms.
Oh, I think it was Helms that won that?
It is.
All
Helms
right.
that won that.
All right.
Then we have the World Tag Team Championship match. It was the Natural Born Killers against Totally Buffed.
The quickest match of the night. You want to tell them how quick?
54 seconds long.
Yep, 54 seconds. It was the Natural Born Thrillers that won that match.
It was. Then we have Kanan against Ernest Miller.
Wait, who's the first one?
Canyon?
Oh, Canyon. Okay. Canyon against Ernest Miller. Oh.
These people are.
God. I think Miller won that match?
I can actually say, with hand on my heart, I have never seen a WCW match in my entire fucking life. And I'm not joking.
Oh. So, Ernest Miller.
Yes.
All right.
Is there a pay-per-view I should watch? Like, in all honesty.
Oh gosh, there's some good ones from like the early '90s.
Really?
Wrestle War '92 is one that comes to mind for me.
Okay. Let's make a poll of that on the.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, we'll let you guys give some suggestions as nominees.
For me to watch.
Right, and then we'll do a poll.
And I will do the winner.
Right. All right, that'll be a great one. We can set that up for the future weeks.
Let's do that.
All right. And you know what, Fro? Hold on, before you continue, I'm even going to make it interesting. Whatever show ends up winning, I will watch that same show.
Nice.
So.
Cool. Then we have Booker T against Rick Steiner. And this was for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
All right. Booker T won that match.
He did. Then we have a tag team match. Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett against... Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
Against Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes.
Okay, before I tell you who won this match, Fro, I'm going to let you know that there were about 3 backstage segments of Dusty and Dustin, and each one had to do with Dusty Rhodes eating a wheelbarrow full of burritos. I am not kidding. Because this match was a kiss my ass match. And Dusty was getting so full of burritos. Oh my god. The Rhodes won that match.
They did. And now the longest match of the night. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. It was Scott Steiner against Diamond Dallas Page.
And for some reason, Michael Buffer had to be the ring announcer for that one. That's another thing. I want to bring that up real quick if you don't mind, Fro.
Sure.
I think one of the main reasons why WCW died was because they always brought Michael Buffer in every single pay-per-view for the main event match. Holy crap, you don't need him every time. Shit.
I guess they paid him a lot of money as well.
He's got a pretty wealthy life.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner won that match.
He did. So that was WCW's last pay-per-view. Creed, and the question for the listeners again. Kiwi Wiwi against Jason Jett, who won?
Yes. And I'll put that question up over the weekend so you guys can take a guess.
Yep.
Alright. Do we want to get to the Rumble now?
We do want to get to the
All
Royal
right,
Rumble.
we're going to get to the Royal Rumble right now. This had a 2-hour pre-show.
Yeah, with 3 really weird matches.
Yes. So let's get...
I mean, there's nothing to talk home about.
Right.
But it was really weird.
Yeah, so let's get through these as quickly as possible. No disrespect to the men involved. The opening match of the kickoff was a 6-man tag team match. Grand Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado facing the team of TJP, Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak.
This was the best match of the night. But it was the best of the pre-show matches.
Wow, we're going to be differing on this one.
I think so.
It was alright, but I wasn't that big into this match.
Oh, you that watched 305, who's the new general manager?
Yes! Okay. So,
I don't know
they did announce the new general manager.
And who is it?
And it is Rockstar Spud.
Okay.
But he is not known as Rockstar Spud.
Okay.
Are you ready for the name, Fro?
Okay.
Drake Maverick. What a shitty name.
Fucking generic.
That is such a shitty name.
That is a shitty name. Yeah.
But I will give him this. I thought he'd cut a very good promo. And during that promo...
fantastic.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
During that promo, he announced that a 16-man single elimination tournament would take place for the Cruiserweight title, and the final match of the tournament would be at WrestleMania.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so we have... Although, I hate to say this, Fro, I think that match is going to be on the kickoff show.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think it will.
It's definitely going to be on the kickoff show.
Oh, and that sucks.
Nobody cares.
I know. Well, I do. But
I don't.
Whoever's in the finals, it's going to be a good match, I think.
Oh yeah.
So, back to the match. Really wasn't much on the...
Do you mind pausing for 2 seconds? I'm so fucking thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in the end, the team of Metalik, Kalisto, and Dorado won. I gave this match a C-.
Really? That low?
Yeah.
Oh, I gave this a C+.
Wow. That high. Okay, so for this, ESPN did not give a rating for any of the pre-show matches. However, CBS did, and we'll get to them in a minute. Meltzer gave this match 2.5 stars, and CBS Sports gave this a C. So the next match was a tag team match, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson against the Revival, which was a rematch from Raw the previous Monday. I'm going to be honest with everyone. I actually got a little bit distracted midway through the match because somebody had to use my computer. So it ended up being a good thing, Fro, that I wasn't on Skype with you guys during the Rumble.
No, this match was so... It was so, like, I've seen this match before. Mm-hmm. Why is this on a pre-show? I understand that you're using time, but holy shit, find something else to do instead of this again.
And the thing is, these two teams can do much better. We've seen it.
They can do much better than this. This is a shit match.
So Revival got the win. I gave this a C.
I gave this a D+.
Alright. Meltzer gave this 2.5 stars, and CBS Sports gave it a C-.
By the way, anything I dinged on NXT
I
got wrong?
1. The Adam Cole match. You only got the Adam Cole match wrong that you guaranteed, so...
Yeah, okay.
So that'll be 1 extra prize in our big WrestleMania draw. I forgot to mention that. Thanks for reminding me. So, the final match of the pre-show, Bobby Roode had the open challenge for the U.S. title. Did you have any guesses? I was curious if you had any guess who it was going to be.
No.
Okay. I didn't either. It ended up being...
And if I guessed, I would never ever guess who came out.
Right. Because it ended up being Mojo Rawley. And... that's about it. There's nothing much to say about this.
It felt kind of random.
Yeah, and it also felt rushed. That's the other thing. Bobby Roode hit the glorious DDT to win. I gave this a C again.
Glorious. I gave this a C-.
Alright. Roode, or Meltzer gave this 1 3/4 stars, and
that's harsh.
And CBS gave this a D.
Yeah.
Now,
a B?
No, a D. D as in dog.
Oh, I was like, did they give this much a B? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with them? Oh, yeah. Okay, a D, yes.
Now, real quick, I want to mention three things that happened during the kickoff with the panel. The first one was with Charlotte. Because
I was just going to say this. This is so funny. Yeah.
So during this, one of the questions that Renee Young, and she had asked the same question to Alexa Bliss earlier. She was like, "Is there anybody that you want to face? If they win?" And Charlotte's like, "Oh, well, I'd like to face Nikki Bella because I think she's still jealous that I beat her for the Divas title." "Oh, well, thanks a lot for telling us she's going to be in the match, Charlotte. Jeez."
Yeah. Thanks for ruining the fucking surprise.
Yeah, seriously. Although I don't think that was much of a surprise before she said it.
But I mean, she wasn't on the list.
Right.
So.
The next one was my favorite. Holy shit. Okay, so Alundra Blaze joins the panel. And JBL is on the panel as well. So they're asking Alundra Blaze about, the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I swear, folks, for 5 minutes, JBL would not get off Alundra Blaze's ass asking her, "Who do you think's going to win the Rumble? Tell us who's going to win." And she's like, "Well, who's going to win?" I swear, John was going to get his ass beat by Alundra Blaze. My God.
She looked really, really uncomfortable.
I'm thinking to myself, shit, get off her back. She could drive a monster.
This wasn't nice at all.
She could drive a monster truck onto one of his houses over in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And then
nice.
The last one was with Ric Flair. And during that, and this was really funny, I thought, every time, because they had a countdown clock, every time it went to say it was 4:10, the fans would count 10, 9, 8.
And they made the bus.
Yes, I was laughing so much. Oh, it was so good. All right.
It was really nice to see that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now let's get to the main show. And we begin with the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles in a 2-on-1 handicap match against the challengers Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I was surprised that this opened the show.
I am too. I thought one of the tag title matches was going to open it, and this is one of my gripes. It's not a big gripe, but I thought the way the card was, the way they had it ordered, especially one part which we'll get to later, was
the men's Royal Rumble. You mean?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was very weird. But anyway,
yeah, it was really weird. Oh, we're going to see him later. He's going to wrestle in the match later.
You know what? This was a good, solid match.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I thought it told a good story. Not as good as the one from Takeover, but I thought it told a good story. And it was a great match. Not a great match, but it was a good match. I liked how Owens and Zayn were using the handicap advantage, especially in the beginning. I thought that was really good. Then, the end of the match, I really liked the ending, because Zayn tries to make the tag to Owens. He doesn't, but the referee thinks that he did, and Styles ends up pinning Owens, but Owens technically was not tagged, even though the ref thought he was. Styles retains the title. I gave this a B.
B+.
Right.
I really liked the ending. The ending here was maybe one of the strongest ending of the night.
Yeah.
I thought the wrestling here was on par. The way they toyed with him in the beginning, so funny, showing them strength, and the ending is also giving us more to come. What came on Wednesday when they made match against Kevin Owens and
Sami Zayn.
Sam Zayn, yeah. And how they are destroying the friendship now. It's so good.
Now, there is one spot that I have to mention, and I laughed during it. It was on the commentating team. So, you know how Corey Graves doesn't have much of a liking for Byron Saxton? So, they start getting into an argument, and Graves is like, Byron, why don't you shut up? And then Byron's like, no, why don't you shut your mouth? And I'm like, oh, shit! Did you catch that part?
No, I didn't.
No, my God, bro, it was too funny. Oh, you gotta watch it again. Oh, it was too good. Okay, Meltzer gave this match 3.5 stars. CBS Sports gave this an A-, and ESPN gave it 3.5 out of 5. So the next match was the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Usos defending against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. This was contested a best 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall, I thought, was really, really good.
Yeah, and then they kind of fucked it up with the second one.
Yeah. Well, okay, the first...
It was a little too fast.
It was. The first fall was really good. That was some great tag team wrestling. The Usos end up getting the fall. They get the first fall. Then the second fall happens, like Fro said. One of the Usos gets beat up during it. And then Gable and Benjamin, they have the advantage on the other Uso. And then, just like that, a quick small package on the Benjamin and the Usos win the match?
Yeah, no. I didn't like the ending. The ending was rushed. It felt over... Yeah, no, it just felt rushed and unplanned.
The thing that sucks is they had such a great first fall. I thought, okay, we're going to get better. And it was just, it's over.
Yeah, no, I just felt a little nothing.
I gave this match a B-.
I gave this a C+.
Alright. Meltzer gave this 3 stars. CBS Sports gave this a B-. And ESPN gave this 2 3/4 out of 5. And then
it takes a turn.
It does. Because the next match...
The rest matches are really good.
Mm-hmm. Because the next match is the Men's Royal Rumble match. So...
Dude, what's the Royal Rumble?
This was... I was surprised. I thought... And this is where I had my problem. I thought...
Storytelling.
Oh, no. Not the match. Just the order of the match. I thought what would have happened is you have one of the 2 main titles, in this case the WWE title match, and then you do the 2 tag matches.
Yeah.
And then after that you do one Royal Rumble match, then the Universal title, then the other Rumble match. Or at least that's how I would have done it.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to it. The opening, or the first 2 were Rusev and Finn Balor. Those were the 2 that started off, and everybody loved it. They really were into that one.
Yeah, and Balor was the one that was there the longest?
Yes, he was in there for 57 minutes. He was about 5+ minutes away from the record.
Right.
Which is very interesting. 3 was Rhino, 4 was Baron Corbin, and then this is where it starts to get very good. Because after Corbin eliminates Rhino, Balor eliminates Corbin, and Corbin is pissed. So he goes after both Balor and Rusev, and he knocks them out. So it's like, okay, well, whoever number 5 is going to be is going to have a big advantage. It's Heath Slater.
Yeah.
And this is so good! Oh!
I love this. This is so nice. This is uber nice.
Yes.
This is so nice to see someone like this get this nice tuck in to the match. It's amazing. Amazing.
So, Slater comes down, and Corbin just knocks him out. And you're like, oh, poor Slater. He has kids. So, and I really think this was the first time ever in the history of the Royal Rumble where there was nobody in the ring. I really think...
Yeah. Nobody was in the ring.
And
the ring was empty.
It was great. It was great storytelling.
Yeah. Amazing.
6 was Elias. And Elias just knocks out Slater because Slater was getting back up or was trying to. So Elias does a little concert. Number 7, Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah.
What a shock.
What a shock. And I can already tell you, nobody from NXT will get called up because of this.
Probably not for a while.
Nope.
So, as Almas made his way to the ring, he knocks Heath Slater down. This is going to be a continuing joke for about the next 5 minutes.
And it's so funny.
And it's done so well. It's done in a way that Slater is not embarrassed because he's technically in the match. He just never got into the ring. So 8 was Bray Wyatt. He knocks down Slater. 9 was Big E. He gives Slater pancakes. Then we get to number 10. 10 is supposed to be Ty Dillinger. Well, Dillinger is getting beat up by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because, they lost the WWE title. So Zayn's like, I got this. So Sami Zayn goes into the Royal Rumble match and, oh, by the way, he knocks down Heath Slater. Number 11 is Sheamus. And this is where the end of this joke comes, but it's got a good punchline.
Yes.
Instead of knocking Heath Slater down, which at this point I was thinking to myself, oh my god, if all 30 of these people do this is the greatest day of the world.
Yes. I was thinking the same.
Sheamus decides to throw Slater in the ring. So Sheamus gets in, Slater hits a drop kick, Sheamus is eliminated. And the funniest part is they're like, he got eliminated on his birthday! And it's so great, because it actually was his birthday. But no, Slater eliminated Sheamus after he got beat up by like 5 or 6 other guys as they were making their way to the ring. To fast forward a little bit, 12 was Xavier Woods, 13 was Apollo Crews, and then number 14, Shinsuke Nakamura.
What?
I was a little surprised about that position. I was.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Me too.
15 was Cesaro, 16 was Kofi Kingston, 17 was Jinder Mahal. And here comes the next part of this. This is where it gets fun. So Mahal eliminates Xavier Woods and Big E. So Kofi goes after Mahal. So Mahal throws Kofi over the top, and you think, oh, Kofi's gone. Mahal's eliminated all the New Day.
No, I did not think Kofi was gone, because we always get a Kofi Kingston spot in the Royal Rumble.
Well, I was speaking theoretically, but
yes.
So as
we all know it's coming.
Yeah,
we all know it's coming,
but we just don't know how it's going to come.
Right.
So as he goes to the floor, his one foot lands on Xavier Woods. Woods never left. He's still laying on the floor. Then Big E grabs a tray of pancakes. I don't know where that came from. And they put the other foot on the pancakes to keep Kofi in the match. And then they do this incredible acrobatic jump And Kofi gets back in the ring, and it's absolutely amazing. The crowd is going crazy. And Kofi eliminates Jinder Mahal. 18 was Seth Rollins. 19 was Matt Hardy. Hardy and Wyatt have a moment. They actually eliminate Rusev. And Rusev was in there for a little bit over a half hour before Wyatt and Hardy eliminate each other. Number 20 was John Cena. And, you know, the whole John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. And then we get number 21. The Hurricane.
What a wasted spot, but what a fun spot.
I know. It was a fun little surprise. So Hurricane comes in, he tries to chokeslam Cena, and it goes nowhere because he gets thrown out very quickly. 22 is Aiden English, and then 23, Adam Cole. Baby. Mm-hmm. That was a nice surprise.
Yes.
So he's in there. 24 was Randy Orton, the reigning winner of the Rumble. 25, Titus O'Neil. 26, The Miz. And then 27, Rey Mysterio.
Or I said, Rey Mysterio?
Yep. And what a nice reaction he got.
Yeah.
What a great reaction he got.
But it doesn't look like he's back because he wasn't on any of the...
It didn't look like it.
No.
28 was Roman Reigns. Reigns got booed out of the building. 29 was Goldust.
Yeah.
And then number 30, the returning Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
So, and I want to say one thing real quick. And this just annoyed the hell out of me the day of the show, Fro. Because we talked about Kenny Omega earlier in the show. And all I kept reading was, Omega's not in Bullet Club anymore. He's going to be at the Rumble. I'm thinking, You dipshit. He's in Japan. How the hell is he going to get from Japan to Philadelphia in time to be at the Royal Rumble?
But then again, people lie where they are around the
Well, yeah. So we get to the final 6. And this was a very cool spot. Final six was oh, sorry, I was just looking at something. Was Balor, Nakamura, Reigns, Mysterio, Orton, and Cena. And the crowd is eating it up. This is just absolutely great. Reigns eliminates Randy Orton to a bit of a surprise because Orton won the Rumble the year before. He had as much of a good chance to repeat as anyone. Then Finn Balor eliminates Rey Mysterio, which was good because that gives Balor a good rub. So now we're down to the final 4. It's Balor, Nakamura, Cena, and Reigns. And they tell a great story where in the beginning, Cena and Reigns team up to beat up Nakamura and Balor. Then
it's New Japan versus WWE.
It's basically the establishment versus the up and coming. That's what it was. So then Nakamura and Balor fight back. And then Balor and Nakamura fight each other. Then Cena and Reigns come back. Then Cena and Reigns fight each other. And then, finally, after God who knows how long, Cena eliminates Finn Balor to this huge booze. Oh my gosh. He
was booed. He was really, really booed.
But a hell of a performance by Finn Balor. We should not take that away from him whatsoever.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Almost an hour in that match. So then, Cena and Reigns are like, okay, you know what? We should team up on Nakamura, get rid of him, and then it'll just be you and me. Well, that does happen for a little bit. Then they fight each other. And then Nakamura eliminates John Cena. And it's down to Nakamura and Reigns. And this crowd is going bananas. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my God, Nakamura could actually win this. And here's the thing. These guys, they must have gone a good 5 minutes, just one-on-one. I don't think there was a single person in that building, in the audience, that was sitting for that ending. I really don't.
It was really, really smart to put Roman Reigns there.
Yes. And it was just great back and forth. You had the Superman punch. Nakamura had the triangle when he was over the top rope. You know, it was just great back and forth. And then at the end, Nakamura hits a Kinshasa. And then Nakamura grabs Reigns, throws him out, and Shinsuke Nakamura wins the Royal Rumble match. And like I said, this was my unofficial time because I did a video of the stats. I had it at 65 minutes, 28 seconds. Again, that's an unofficial time. After the match, Renee Young asks Shinsuke, who do you want to face? Because they said during the pre-show that whoever wins gets to pick the champion of their choice. So Nakamura's like, AJ Styles. And the whole building goes crazy as if their team had won the world championship. But
I mean, I can't wait for that match.
Oh my gosh.
That match tomorrow. I want that match tomorrow.
And you know, here's the thing. They've only faced each other one time. And it was at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Yep.
And that was a good match. That atmosphere.
Won there.
Nakamura. That atmosphere is going to be absolutely crazy at the Superdome.
And if somebody wants me to guess right now, Nakamura is going over.
I gave this match an A. This was one of the best Royal Rumble matches I have ever seen. It was that good.
I totally agree.
There was not a single boring moment in that match. It was great. And if it hadn't been for the main event of Takeover, this would have been the match of the weekend.
Yeah, and that's why I gave it an A+.
Wow.
A+.
Meltzer. Oh, go ahead.
There's a better match coming.
Meltzer thought very highly of this match. He gave this 4.25 stars. So that's very high. CBS gave this match, let me find the grade, gave it an A. And ESPN gave this 3.5 out of 5. So they were a little low on that one. I'm surprised, because everybody that I had seen loved that Royal Rumble match. They loved it. Okay, so how do we recover from that match? By having the first ever KFC Colonel Rumble.
Oh, this was so fucking stupid.
Oh, God. I was like, well, this is it. This is the main event of the show right here. So, if you had not seen it, and there are some viewers who, don't watch the WWE pay-per-views, they've done this commercial. They've done these commercials for maybe close to 2 years where a WWE superstar is the Colonel. So they have a Colonel Sanders Royal Rumble match where the winner is going to be the new Colonel. And it features Dolph Ziggler, who was the original Colonel. You had The Miz, you had Rusev, you had Breezango. Hey, at least Breezango got airtime. Miz was involved. And the winner of the match, Ric Flair. That's right, Ric Flair entered the match, and he tossed the last two guys out and won the Colonel Rumble.
Such a stupid commercial.
And that's the end of the pay-per-view. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. No, we got more to go. So after that, the next match is the Raw Tag Team Title match. Cesaro and Sheamus competing, challenging against Seth Rollins and the very fresh Jason Jordan. Were you surprised Jordan wasn't in that Rumble match?
Not really.
I actually was a bit surprised. I thought for sure he was going to be in it. But
Okay.
so we have a good story being told in this match. The story is Jason Jordan, he gets knocked out early in the match. And it's pretty much he has a concussion. So Seth Rollins has to go the rest of the way through this match. During this, and I believe this is why Booker T is no longer on the commentating team for Raw, bro. Booker T talks about how Seth Rollins is like Gilligan on Gilligan's Island. He's all alone. And Graves is like, you know, there were other people on Gilligan's Island too.
Aww. Poor guy. What a moron.
Poor Booker.
I feel stupid. I feel stupid, yeah. I feel sorry.
You feel stupid and sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Booker T will now be doing the pay-per-view pre-show, so at least we'll get some IQ points back.
What a moron.
Oh, my God. That was too funny. He's like on Gilligan's Island, all alone. So, eventually...
Well, I don't think Booker T has ever seen Gilligan's Island.
You should ask him on Twitter, have you ever seen Gilligan's Island?
What a moron. What comes you? Like, what makes you say something so fucking stupid?
Hey, if I got a tweet back from Mark Henry about a watch, you could get a tweet back from Booker T about Gilligan's Island.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, so anyway, Jordan eventually does make it back. Rollins tags Jordan, and Jordan gets in the ring, and he sells this really good because he tries to get in the match, but he can't do it. His head is in pain, he's injured, and he tags Rollins back in. And Rollins is like, you gotta be a team player! What are you doing? And then Cesaro and Sheamus hit their finishing move, and we have...
How I wish that was his real voice, but...
and we have new Raw Tag Champs. What the hell are you doing? You gotta be in the match, you gotta be a team!
Do it another way! Turn around!
I gave this match a B, just for the storytelling.
Do it another way! Turn around!
Oh, God.
That would be the best gimmick ever.
So I gave this match a B.
Yeah, definitely a B, man.
Alright. Meltzer rated this 2.25 stars. CBS Sports rated this a C+. And ESPN gave this a 2 out of 5.
C+ only? That looks a little low.
And then we go to the match that, had it not been the Royal Rumble match, would be the one that Fro would have been the most interested in. The triple threat match for the Universal title. Braun Strowman, Kane, and Brock Lesnar.
So interested.
Oh, God.
I was interested. I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't interested.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was interested in it too, but
the result was pretty. What do you call it? It was pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm. But this to me was the most disappointing match of the night.
Really?
I think so, because they had built this match so good going into it, and I'm not mad because of the result, but it's just the way it was built up. I thought, okay, these three are gonna beat the living crap out of each other, and they're gonna probably.
No, I thought it was going to go exactly how it went. A really, really fast match.
It just didn't really roll for me in this one. Brock got the win with the F5 when he pinned Kane. But again, Braun Strowman did dominate Brock Lesnar here. So you have a good story there.
And again, he did something on Raw. That was amazing.
Oh, can we mention that now?
Mm-hmm.
Braun and Kane had a last man standing match where the winner would get a spot in the Elimination Chamber match.
So good.
Braun grabs the stage where the table for the commentator's table was, and he flips it onto Kane. And and I love the referee because, and it's Rudy Charles, who was a TNA referee. Rudy's like, screw this, I'm not counting to 10, ring the bell. He just called for the bell. He's like, there's no way this guy's getting up, ring the bell.
Yeah, but you're allowed to do that as a referee, so.
Yeah, it's just I'd never seen that before in a last man standing match.
I know, but you're allowed to do it.
No, you are. I gave this a C-.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gave this a C+.
All right. Meltzer gave this 2 stars. CBS gave this a... What did they give this match? A B-. Whoa.
Whoa!
Yeah.
A B-.
A B...
That's a little high.
Yeah. And
That is a little too high.
And ESPN gave this 2 3/4 out of 5.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the other review that you have been waiting for the most. Because it is...
Another match I gave an A+ to.
Yes. The first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. So, we should mention, before we go further, that during the pre-show and on Twitter, Kurt Angle tweeted out that Alicia Fox would not compete due to injury. This was not a storyline. This was real. Alicia Fox got injured. She's going to be out for several months. So, hope Alicia does very well, which is why there was a change in the Mixed Match Challenge, because she was originally going to team up with Goldust, and their match is next week. So, the replacement for Alicia Fox, if, for those who want to know, Mandy Rose.
Ooh,
that's
a good choice.
That's a good choice, because the only other person I could think of was Dana Brooke. That was the only other one.
Oh yeah. I was thinking Dana Brooke. Well.
But Mandy Rose is an excellent choice.
Yeah.
All right. So after JoJo the Ho Ho explained the rules of the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, fuck! Sorry, my back.
Oh.
I have some back issues, ladies and gentlemen.
I was gonna say, I thought you didn't get my joke. JoJo the Ho Ho.
Oh, JoJo the Ho Ho. Oh, that's funny.
She introduced Maria Menounos, who was the guest ring announcer, and she got booed, and Maria's like, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. So, she then introduces Stephanie McMahon, who was the guest announcer with Michael Cole and Corey Graves for the match. And I gotta say this, and I want your opinion on this too, Fro.
Yes.
I thought Stephanie McMahon did a good job being a commentator because she wasn't putting herself over. She was putting the match over. She was putting the women over. She wasn't being annoying.
I was pleasantly surprised. How about that?
That's fair enough. So, now Maria's back.
I would give her 7 out of 10.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
So, I like how Maria does her announcements. And now, here is number 1. And before we reveal who number 1 is, I thought Captain Marvelous put a very good question in our Facebook group asking who was going to be number 1. Who's going to be the first woman ever? And he put a good pick in, Naomi. I thought, okay, I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
It ends up being Sasha Banks. Mm-hmm. So, Maria's like...
Sasha, I don't work Banks.
Oh, God. So...
Did you see that?
Oh, man. We're going to get into that in a minute. So, Menounos is like, entry number 1, Sasha Banks! So, Banks is number 1. But who's going to be number 2? It's Becky Lynch. But, Maria again with her announcement, here's number 2, Becky Lynch! That is almost as bad of announcing as when Michael Buffer did the announcement for the '08 Rumble match. Have you ever heard that one?
No.
Oh my god. It is so bad. Because, okay, it's the one where Undertaker and Michaels starts the match. I know I'm going off track, but I have to say this. So, so Undertaker's number one. So Michael Buffer goes, entry number one, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. But number two is even worse. And now, entry number two, here is the Heartbreak Kid, HBK. He doesn't even say Sean's name.
Aww.
Way to go, Buffer. You had one job. You messed up. Alright, so Sasha and Becky start the Rumble off. Number 3 is Sarah Logan. Number 4 is Mandy Rose. And we get our first surprise at number 5 because it is Lita. And Lita looked very good.
Yeah, she looked fantastic.
She looked good in there. And trivia question here, for those of you who get asked this in 30 years, the first woman ever eliminated in a female Royal Rumble match, Mandy Rose by Lita.
Yeah.
That'll be a question on Jeopardy someday, folks.
I lost on Jeopardy, baby.
Okay. Ooh. Alright, number 6, Kairi Sane, the winner of the Mae Young Classic. And
so good to see her.
yes, and she was the substitute for Alicia Fox. I found that out later on. 7 was Tamina, who looked like if Prince decided to wear white instead of purple. Not sure about that.
Oh, ouch, ouch. You got me to... Ow. Ow.
This is gonna be
You laughed.
this is gonna be my mission for the rest of the night. Make Fro laugh and go in pain at the same time.
Go in pain at the same time,
Yep. Number 8, Dana Brooke. And Brooke surprisingly eliminated Kairi Sane. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, that was really surprising.
People were not happy about that. Number 9 was Tori Wilson. Boy, did she get quite an ovation.
But holy shit, talking about people coming back and not being in the ring.
For a long time.
Yeah, she didn't have any ring rust.
No, she for the short time she was in there, she looked good. Number 10 was Sonya Deville. 11 was Liv Morgan. Number 12, Molly Holly.
Molly Holly.
And she
Really
got
big surprise.
she got one of the big ovations of the night in this match.
Yeah.
And she could still go. I think she even knocked Sasha Banks out at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, why don't you talk about, because you mentioned it earlier, Sasha Banks' work in this match.
I mean, I've seen Lacey work in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But she just stands there and looks around and hopes nobody sees her. And she doesn't even kick people. She just raises her leg up in the air and does absolutely nothing.
Now,
what the fuck is wrong with her?
Now I want to ask you this, because we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week because we were going a long time previewing the Royal Rumble. Sasha Banks stated in a recent interview that she believes she is the greatest female wrestler of all time. Now let me ask you this. Do you think it is because she believes in her own hype, or do you think that she actually thinks she's the greatest female wrestler of all time?
I hope for her fucking sake she doesn't believe any of it. She doesn't believe that, or that she's the best wrestler ever. Because I hate it when wrestlers don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Do your fucking job. There's one fucking reason why you are inside of that ring, and that is to entertain people. If you're not willing to do that, give the space to somebody else that is willing to do it. There's a long line behind you, lady, of people that wants to come into the ring, in the WWE ring. Give it to somebody that wants it instead of standing there and stomping like a fucking horse.
I'll say this, and this is just my opinion. I think what's happening with Sasha is the same thing that happened with Enzo Amore, and I don't mean rape. I mean Sasha is starting to get a big head, a big ego, thinking that she is the best, the greatest of all time, when she's really not. And I've seen women wrestlers that are much better than Sasha. Do I think Sasha's a good wrestler? Yes, I do. Do I think
she's a good wrestler?
She is.
But standing there in the Royal Rumble, the first female Royal Rumble, and you don't do your job, there's no fucking excuse for that.
Right.
Absolutely no excuse.
So, that's where we stand.
Angry is what I feel about her.
So that's where we stand. We both think she's a good wrestler, but she's starting to develop a big head.
And to be honest, Vince is not going to fucking like what he said seen there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to allow her to be bigger than the product.
Yep.
Because guess what? She's not.
Exactly. Number 13 is Lana. 14 is Michelle McCool. And McCool, and this is, again, from the video that I did earlier this week, had the most eliminations of anybody in any of the Royal Rumble matches. I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
She had 5 eliminations, and they were in a row.
Yeah.
So 15.
It was nice to see Mrs. Taker there.
Mm-hmm. It was. 15.
Mrs.
Taker. 15 was Ruby Riott, and then probably the best moment of the entire match, number 16. Excuse me. Excuse me. I popped.
Fantastic.
I popped when that happened. I was like, yes, yes. Vicky Guerrero, after being away for like 2.5 years, comes back. Everybody's loving it, and she gets into the ring. She's still screaming, "Excuse me," which is why I'm not doing the Vicky Guerrero voice at the moment. And all the other women are like, "What the hell is she doing?" So they all get her and they all throw her out. Poor Vicky. But it does get better, because at number 17 comes Carmella, and as Carmella is making her way to the ring, Vicky and Carmella get into a confrontation, and Vicky knocks Carmella out with her briefcase. And I'm like, yes, Vicky.
But it was so funny. And also her almost cash in.
Oh.
So good this week.
Yeah, did I read right that she accidentally drop-kicked the ref?
Yes.
Oh my god. This is why this is the greatest time of year, folks. It really is. Yeah. Okay, so Carmella got knocked out by Vicky. 18 is Natalya. So I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get the same joke with Heath Slater that we're going to get on Carmella. Well, Natalya throws her crazy cat ears onto Carmella, and Carmella suddenly wakes up and she beats up Natalya. So they get in the ring. And then number 19 is Kelly. And I swear, Fro, I don't think her boobs ever grew. I'm not kidding. That woman's boobs never grew from when she left.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 20 was Naomi. 21 was Jacqueline, and then 22 was Nia Jax. And Nia looked really good in this position because she was...
Nia looked amazing.
She did. Because she was doing the eliminations real quick, and then she grabs Naomi. She throws Naomi over the top, but somehow Naomi is caught and ends up on the protective rail. We're going to get back to that in a minute. Number 23, Ember Moon, who, selling the injury from the night before, goes in there and she competes. So while this is going on, Naomi is scooting herself across the top of the guardrail to get to a chair, and as she gets on the top of the guardrail, Maria is on Instagram or Snapchat or I don't know what she was on, and she sees Naomi and she gets the hell out of the way, and Naomi ends up putting her feet on the seat, and she crawls using the chair to get back into the ring, and she's not eliminated. That is until Nia Jax gets her and she's eliminated. Then we get 24, Beth Phoenix. And oh, was this good. Her and Nia Jax face to face. Oh, this was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, this was so good.
I have a dream that she will come back.
She might. She looked in good shape. So Natalya gets back in the ring, and as we know, Natalya and Beth Phoenix are BFFs. So they hug each other, and the fans are cheering. And then Natalya slaps Beth across the face and eliminates her. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Number 25 is Asuka. Asuka comes in, and she's dominating everyone. 26, Mickie James. Oh, Mickie James looked good. Oh.
And the work, I just need to stop 2 seconds with Asuka because we all know what happens. But the work they did with Asuka in this, making her look as strong as they did, so good.
Oh, yeah.
I was really thankful for the team to make her look as good as she did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, number 27, Nikki Bella. Thank you, Charlotte, for letting us know she was going to be in it. Thank you.
Oh, and I was so disappointed. I was like, okay, here's one of them. Okay, is Mrs. Prego coming out as well? And I was like, oh, yes, she is, isn't she?
And I'm still trying to figure out how she's a role model for little girls. I really am. I'm still trying to figure that out. 28, Brie Bella.
Tell me when you find out.
Huh? I'll tell you when I find out?
Yes.
Okay. 28, Brie Bella. Now, you see, that's who I would have my daughter look up to as a role model, is Brie. Not Nikki, but that's just me. 29, Bayley. So it's like, okay, there's only one spot left. There were many people in our Facebook group who said Ronda Rousey was going to win the Royal Rumble. Number 30, Trish Stratus. And the fans were cheering. I was like, when Trish came out, I was like, oh, I was breathing a sigh of relief. I was like, oh my God, if it's not, Rousey, these people are going to boo whoever number 30 is. But it's Trish. So,
I mean, Trish is so liked that it was smart to have her as number 30.
Oh God, yeah.
When Rousey was not going to be in the Royal Rumble. So she kind of didn't lie.
So, we get, at this point, Stratus and Mickie James have a stare down, and we get a couple minutes of those two facing each other, which looked really good. And then, after James is eliminated, the remaining women gang up on Nia Jax. The Bellas were on the apron, and they try to start pulling her out, and then everybody else comes over, and that's where the elimination of Nia Jax comes. That was a really good spot. So after that, Bayley has her back turned, and Sasha Banks from behind throws Bayley out over the top to the floor. Hey, it's every woman for herself. What can we say?
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like storytelling in this.
That was really good.
It was really good, and it's nice to see that they're not like toying with anything in it. So really nice, really nice.
Natalya then gets eliminated by Trish, and Trish gets eliminated by Sasha Banks. And our final four: Sasha Banks, Asuka, and the Bella Twins. Wow, if you had that in your pool, congratulations, you won some money. So, the Bellas eventually eliminate Sasha Banks. Sasha was in that match for 55 minutes. So the Bellas then work on Asuka for a little bit, and then Brie goes over the top rope, but lands on the apron. Nikki, being the opportunist that she is, drop kicks Brie, and Brie is eliminated. So,
Hey, sister!
And I hate to break this to everyone, I've read rumors that the reason that elimination happened is because we're going to get Nikki and Brie against each other at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I actually want that.
Might not be that bad. I don't know. So we're down to Asuka and Nikki Bella. It gets good. The ending is good because both women went over the top, but they're on the apron. They're fighting each other. Asuka gets kicked, and at one point I was like, oh my god, she's going to fall! But she manages to keep her balance. She kicks Nikki, and Nikki falls to the floor, and Asuka is the winner of the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. My unofficial time, 58 minutes, 59 seconds. That's the unofficial time that I had. So
I will say 2 words about Ronda Rousey, and then I have to go and take some painkillers and lay myself to bed because my back is fucking aching. But pointing at the WrestleMania sign, did you think it was stealing the spot from Asuka?
now you see, I've heard that all week, and I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think it was stealing her spotlight because, you know, we had heard the rumors that she was going to come. We just weren't sure if it was true and when. Plus, I thought Nakamura had done it, and I thought Asuka had done it already, so why couldn't she point? So.
No, I totally agree with you. I think saying that she shouldn't point up the WrestleMania sign is so stupid.
Yeah.
It's just pointing out they need to do a storyline with it, of course, but it's just pointing.
Yeah.
Nothing to get mad about.
So, after the match, both champions come in. Asuka's going to make her pick, and then all of a sudden, we hear Joan Jett, and Ronda Rousey comes out to a huge ovation. And then she does everything that Fro and I just discussed. And as she leaves, she goes around the ring and she puts out her... Oh, actually, she put her hand out for Asuka at first. Asuka slaps the hand away. Then she goes to Stephanie McMahon. She puts her hand out. And Stephanie begrudgingly shakes her hand. And that is how the Royal Rumble ends. I gave this match a B+.
I gave this an A.
All right. The Meltzer gave this 3.25 stars. CBS Sports gave this a B+. And ESPN gave this 3.25 out of 5. You know what? Before you go, Fro, and are you going to leave once you take your medicine?
Yeah, my back is killing me. I need to lay down.
Do you want to hear my story real quick, or do you want to wait till next?
Let's do it next week.
All right, that's a great teaser for next week. All right.
Yes.
So, real quick, our Facebook group, What did they think of the Royal Rumble? A lot of A's and B's being thrown around. A couple gave a C, one gave a D. I'm going to give this an A. I really, really liked the show as a whole. Really, really liked it. What was your favorite match from the Royal Rumble? The women's match is getting a lot of love, and it should.
Yep.
But I gotta give my vote to the men. It was really, really good. Oh, like I said, one of the best Royal Rumble matches I've ever seen was that one. And then, least favorite, as soon as I can find that one, there it is. The Raw Tag Title match was voted the least favorite.
I don't see that.
No, least favorite.
Oh yeah, the least. Yeah.
Least favorite. Followed by, and I don't know why, the men's and women's Rumble match. That's why I put least in capital letters, so you guys don't miss that part. The only two matches that didn't get least favorite was the Cruiserweight match and the WWE title match. My least favorite was the Universal title match.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't get into that one, so. But I think it's safe to say overall, Fro, a tremendous weekend of wrestling, unbelievable matches. This is going to be one weekend that I think will be discussed for a long, long time. Alright, Fro, why don't you get some sleep? We will talk to you next week.
Yes, thank you, Luke. Yes. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Okay, see you next week.
See ya. So, one thing that I do want to bring up, and this was something that I wrote. I wrote a quick article, about this. And this involved Ronda Rousey. To me, the best decision WWE made the entire night of the Royal Rumble was not putting Ronda Rousey in that match. Because to me, if Rousey does go into that match, there would be people upset that she won the match, or there would be people upset that she got eliminated and it wasted her first appearance in WWE. And then, if she eliminated certain people, there'd be people upset that, she eliminated this person, this person, this person. So all in all, I think WWE made the wise decision by not having her in the Rumble match and instead having her come out at the end the way she did. Alright, that's gonna do it for this week. Let's do the quick plugs. You can follow the show on Twitter at WrestlingShow11. Join our Facebook group. It is That Wrestling Show Fan Group. That's what you gotta type in the search bar and you are right there. And if you can't find us for some reason, that's okay. Just click on the link below in the description and you are right there. Don't forget to check out thatwrestlingshow.com and visit my Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcasts. Your donations can help out not only this podcast, but some of the other podcasts that I do, including Shark's Pond, a South Park podcast, Nostalgia Crew, and Untitled Movie Project. So next week on this show, I will be reading a special book to Fro and to everybody else. And also, I happened to get in the mail today the latest edition of Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine with their year-end awards. So next week, Fro and I, we will discuss the year-end awards from Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. And real quick, I want to give my Super Bowl pick out. It is a tradition. I forgot to ask Fro who he had. You know what? I'm going to go for the upset. I think the Eagles are going to take the Patriots. I think the Eagles are going to finally win a Super Bowl this Sunday. So we'll just have to wait and see. On that note, everybody have a good, safe rest of the week. Have a very fun weekend, no matter what it is that you do. Have fun, be safe. And when you are done, being at a Super Bowl party, eating a lot of food, watching the commercials, watching the game, watching the halftime show, whatever it is you do, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always, wrestle on!